Eswatini is one of the smallest nations in Africa, and one of the most remarkable. Landlocked between South Africa and Mozambique, it is a country of contrast, of quiet dignity, and of cultural depth. A land of mountains and valleys, of monarchy and modernity, of rituals that echo through generations. Once called Swaziland, today it stands as Eswatini, a name returned to its people by royal decree, meaning land of the Swazi. With a population just over 1 million, Eswatini may not command global headlines or tourist floods, but it holds something far more valuable: continuity. In a continent where traditions often yield to rapid change, Eswatini remains one of the few places where cultural identity has not only endured, but has been institutionalized in governance, in ceremony, in daily life. Geographically, the country is diverse and compact. To the west lie the high-veld regions, cool, misty mountains with dense forests and winding roads. Here, the air is thin and fresh, and the morning sun filters gently through pine branches. The capital city, Mumbai, sits nestled in these highlands, a modest administrative center surrounded by ridges, small markets, and quiet offices. It is not a booming metropolis, but rather a functioning, living city with a character all its own. A place where business people wear formal suits, but greet one another in Siswati, and where combis, shared taxis, serve as the veins of daily movement. Traveling east, the terrain warms into the Midveld and Lowveld, valleys of fertile farmland, sugarcane plantations, and open plains. The Ezulwini Valley, sometimes called the Valley of Heaven, unfolds here, the spiritual and cultural heart of the nation. This is where you find royal residences, cultural centers, sacred spaces. The hills rise softly on either side, guarding the secrets of the kingdom. Eswatini's monarchy is not symbolic. It is central to its national identity. His Majesty King Mswati III, one of the world's last absolute monarchs, holds legislative, judicial, and executive authority. His presence is more than political. It is spiritual, cultural, and historical. Alongside him sits the Queen Mother, known as the Ndlovukati, or she-elephant. This dual monarchy represents both balance and continuity, the king as the nation's head and the Queen Mother as its heart. The monarchy traces its lineage back centuries through generations of Dlamini rulers. One of the most revered figures in this lineage is King Sobhuza II, who reigned for over 60 years and led the nation into independence in 1968. That year, Eswatini gained full sovereignty from British colonial administration, one of the last African nations to do so. Since then, it has preserved more of its pre-colonial identity than perhaps any other country on the continent. In 2018, on the occasion of the 50th anniversary of independence, King Mswati III announced that the nation would reclaim its pre-colonial name, Eswatini. The decision was more than symbolic. It was a message. This nation does not belong to its past invaders, nor does it seek to mimic other systems. It walks its own path. Language in Eswatini reflects this pride. Siswati, a Bantu language related to Zulu, is widely spoken and taught alongside English, which remains an official language. In courts, schools, parliament, and markets, Siswati flows freely, not only as communication, but as culture. Proverbs, greetings, and respectful forms of address infuse daily life with tradition. Religion in Eswatini blends Christianity with ancestral belief systems. The majority of the population identifies as Christian, Anglican, Zionist, or Catholic, but traditional spirituality is deeply embedded. Ancestor reverence, ritual cleansing, and the presence of sangomas, traditional healers, coexist naturally with Sunday church services. It is not contradiction, it is harmony. Culturally, Eswatini is perhaps best known for its ceremonies. The most famous is Umhlanga, the reed dance. Held annually, it brings together tens of thousands of unmarried women and girls from across the country. Dressed in traditional attire, they carry reeds to present to the Queen Mother and perform synchronized dances before the king and the nation. It is a celebration of purity, pride, and womanhood. It is not staged for tourists. It is real, powerful, and sacred. Another key ceremony is Inkwala, the kingship ceremony. Celebrated at the height of summer, it is a deeply spiritual event involving the royal family, warriors, and selected elders. Inkwala marks the renewal of kingship, national unity, and the agricultural cycle. Only Swazis may participate. It is not explained. It is lived. Beyond these royal rituals, daily life in Eswatini moves with gentle purpose. In towns, combis weave between markets, schools, and office buildings. Mbabane and Manzini, the country's economic hub, are busy but not chaotic. People move steadily, dressed in a mix of Western clothing and traditional wraps. Greetings are customary, and respect is everywhere. Elders are addressed formally, and strangers acknowledge each other. In rural areas, life follows the seasons. Families live in homesteads, clusters of round, thatched roof huts built around a central yard. Livestock is kept nearby. Fields of maize, sugarcane, and sorghum stretch out beyond. Women cook over open fire, using 3-stone stoves and cast-iron pots. The smell of roasted corn, stewed beef, and pumpkin rises into the air. Meals like sishwala, maize porridge, and imasi, sour milk, are staples, simple, nutritious, and always shared. Children walk long distances to school, dressed in uniforms, often singing along the way. Education is deeply valued, though resources can be scarce. In recent years, literacy and access have improved, thanks to community-driven programs and government support. Still, challenges remain, particularly in rural regions. Transport is informal but effective. Combis, pickup trucks, bicycles, and even donkey carts carry people and goods across the country. Roads are paved between major towns, but gravel paths still connect villages. In the absence of bus schedules, people rely on community knowledge. You wait at a known stop. The driver honks. You board. It works. Healthcare is a growing priority. Eswatini once had the highest HIV prevalence rate in the world. But through aggressive testing, treatment access, and education, the country has become a model of progress. Clinics have been established even in remote areas, and stigma around the virus has declined. Community health workers play a vital role, not just treating illness, but offering support, counseling, and hope. Economically, Eswatini relies on agriculture, textiles, and services. Sugarcane is a major export, so are citrus fruits and timber. Handicrafts, baskets, carvings, batik cloth also contribute, especially in areas like Ezulwini and Ngwenya. Tourism is modest but growing. Visitors come for the national parks, the culture, and the chance to witness ceremonies few outsiders ever see. The environment is another point of pride. Eswatini has protected game reserves where rhinos, elephants, and lions roam. The Hlain Royal National Park, Makaya, and Malilwain Wildlife Sanctuary offer safaris, bird-watching, and eco-lodges. Unlike the mass tourism models of neighboring countries, Eswatini's approach is quieter, more sustainable, and community-focused. But perhaps the greatest asset of Eswatini is its people. Swazis are known for their hospitality, humility, and harmony. Violence is rare, families are close-knit, the elderly are respected, children are raised communally, songs are sung for every occasion. Drums are not just instruments, they are language. Even in hardship, there is humor. Even in poverty, there is pride. There is a Swazi saying, "A person is a person through other people." Ubuntu. This philosophy is not theoretical, it is lived. In the evening, as the sun sets over the mountains, fires flicker to life in homesteads. Food is served, conversations unfold under the stars, And the nation, this small and sovereign kingdom, rests once again in its own rhythm, quiet, proud, and deeply rooted. This is Eswatini, not a relic of the past, but a nation carrying its culture into the future. One foot in the mountain, one in the modern world, steady, sacred, and unshaken.